boy and his Bible here, and I'm very pleased to be able to do this series of talks on the book of Revelation. There's only going to be a few of them because I'm more interested that you read the book of Revelation for yourself. We have made Revelation a difficult book over the years. And what I want to do with this short series is to show you, I hope, that it's not a difficult book. It's actually one of the easiest books to understand. As long as you look for the big picture and you don't try and go into great detail on everything that you read. Let me just give you one illustration. In the middle of the book, there's a beast that comes out of the wild sea. The sea at its worst. And as he comes out of the sea, you see a monster. It's a monster that's got 7 heads, and on the heads there's 10 horns. And as you look at this monster, you would say, I don't want to meet him at any time. You want to be afraid of him. You want to say you don't want him. Later on, you'll realize that there's another beast from the land, and it looks kinder. It's got a kind of a lamb appearance, but the moment you hear his voice, you say, no, no, no. That's the big picture. There's something to be afraid of. When you realize that what you're to be afraid of is the godlessness in the world, in society, in culture, amongst kingdoms. The moment you realize it is to do with that, and that wants you to deny God and say to you, come and have our pleasure and our enjoyment, then you begin to see immediately the big picture. You can say, wait a moment, Robert, what does the 7 horns mean and the 10 crowns mean, and what does this mean and that mean and the other mean? You don't have to go down that road. You can just see the big picture. If there are 7 heads and you want to interpret that as 7 kingdoms of the past, do so. If you want to identify them, do so. But the big picture is be afraid. That's the big picture. If you want to say that the world is made up of so many different heads, there's the military, there's the political, there's even arts and crafts, and there's the medicine world, and all of them can be a denial of God. All of them can be. Say, we don't need God. If they say, we want God, that's different. But the parts of society that says, we don't want God, you take the field of astronomy, do they need God? And you could say, there's many different heads. There wouldn't be 7. 7's just a number. 7 in the book of Revelation is the idea of fullness. And there is a fullness. There could be 1,000 heads out there in the world. But all of them are saying to you, what's the big picture? So that's my first talk on Revelation. It doesn't have to be a difficult book to understand. At the beginning of the book, it says that there's a blessing to those who are listening. In the first century, they didn't have the scroll that had all the book of Revelation. They had to listen to it being read to them. They had to understand it and be blessed. At the very last chapter, the same people are referred to, those that have ears to hear, let them hear, as it says into the 7 churches as well. Now, you don't have a blessedness if you don't understand it. How can you be blessed? And that's what they did. And when they read some of these big pictures that's in the book of Revelation, they were encouraged. Their hope was strengthened. They were prepared to stand up for Jesus in difficult situations. And that's what the book of Revelation is. It's a simple book that will help us to stand up in difficult situations. Well, that's the first brief talk on Revelation. Thank you for listening. See you soon.